Alright, everybody. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. We finally found an excuse to pull the curtains. A very good one at that. So, now we're gonna... Oh, who's this? A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Oh. That's a man. Okay, could have fooled me. I guess
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
I'll just use the key, shall I?
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. You feel the tiny hairs on the back of your neck rise up, as if someone's standing right behind you.
Alright, I'll just gonna open the door and enter. There we go. I got time for all of that. Whatever it is, it's not gonna be what I think it is, so... Sand dripping from a punch bag. Smells like leather and sweat. Oh! A ball! Poster says Situs Fortis. The rest is worn off.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with.
Yeah, I'll lift them.
There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Who needs collars?
Why does it feel so familiar?
Huh. Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that.
Oh.
It's the stale smell of rubber. The squeaky sound of sneakers.
Yeah.
Your bruised knee against the mat. And a whistle. Then the feeling is gone.
Oh.
It's just a memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
Hey, Kim, look, it's a trap. There's no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm gonna try to lift it. So, wish me luck. Here we go. Ow.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form.
Oh.
See? This place is cursed.
Oh.
Even your body has failed you. It's a miracle you didn't injure yourself.
Oh, man. Seems like I'm a little out of shape. Maybe my palms were just slippery?
Wearing gloves would definitely make it easier.
Yeah, maybe I should be wearing gloves. I got some fingerless gloves. Do you think maybe that would work?
The barbell waits patient.
Nope. Oh, hey, my blue gloves match my blue coat now. Well, that's something. What's the stats, though? The gloves give +1 in electrochemistry. Why the hell not? What do you got here? Worn out wool bars look unsafe. Alright, Kitsuragi, what do you want?
What is this place?
It's, well, looks like a gym to me.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Alright, well, let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let me just put on my, flashlight here. And stuff, you know. Alright, let's go further in. Hallways blocked by old window panes and debris. Oh. Wild animals stare at me in the dark, stuffed and mounted. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind me of blades. Oh. A naked mannequin torso. A strange yellow color. Blue velvet. Soft to the touch. Moth bitten. More money. Where are the clothes it used to display? Yes.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural.
Interesting.
Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
I will inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. The full text reads, Heat Death of the Universe is the new black. Another note says, the biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Oh.
Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
Alright, I will inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Alright, I will examine the welkin. The important-looking one.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
Yeah. Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Right. Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
I think one of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the Welkins.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
I will inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
No.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Interesting. I will inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow.
Oh.
Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Okay. I'll just leave then. I think I examined all I can.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside. But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Hey, do you think I should turn it on?
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
Alright, well, in that case...
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
I will look inside the compartment.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling.
This is where the memory should go.
Oh. Press print?
Nothing happens.
Play?
Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
Alright, that makes sense. I guess, if we find a tape, we know where to go now.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient.
What am I looking at here?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies? For what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
This must be an elaborate piece of art.
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
So who's the game master?
Someone very important.
And if this is a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
The cost of air width alone must have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else is here?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Interesting. Well, that's it for now, I guess. Scribbled across a notebook, developers with the most advanced RPG in the universe. Whatever that means. What's inside here?
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Could have been an undercover counterintelligence program.
No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Oh. And how are they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Huh. Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
And you're saying that this was a role-playing game of some sort?
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Huh. So what do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Huh.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Well, they were insane if they thought they could do this.
Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving.
Right. Let's do that. Steel rotor blades bearing a Slipstream logo. Skis with Slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. And that's it. Okay. So I guess we open the door here. And, still haven't found any fridge or freezer. Hopefully soon. Oh, some magnesium. And 2 reals. Oh, that's the bare fridge, it seems. An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. How do I get to it? Oh. There we go. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Hey, look, there's a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Of course.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Hey, Kim. Got some rifles here.
Are these any good?
Let's see.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
Ooh, this one here looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Well, what does this mean? A rifle being here.
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Where the hell are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought too. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Alright, sounds about right. There we go. 4-shot bolt-action military rifle with a wooden frame. Oh, I got a gun, but I don't have any bullets. Still gotta find some bullets before we do any real damage. What's this? Frozen ice cream maker is still running. You can make some ice cream here.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads off into the darkness, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Don't rip the red one out. You'll awaken the ghosts.
What ghosts?
An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
Alright. I'll unplug the black cable too.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Why did you do that?
No reason.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing.
Alright, I'm sorry. Look, I'll plug it back in.
Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented.
There we go. Alright, everyone happy? Great. Ooh. A black tank top. Intercom wires running into the breaker box. What do we got here, huh? Oh, it's a mesh tank top. +1 drama. Compared to... Come on, there's no comparison here. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's gonna be hard to compete with the Helmdahl t-shirt. Okay, looking around some more. What we got here? Wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Kim, what is this thing? Is this a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Let me take a look inside.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
Not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Alright, let's do that. I'm not gonna give myself away. And here we go.
You see the looming shadow of an ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is slightly open. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
Doesn't matter. Let's crack open the door.
A faint waft of cold air rolls out. You hear the sound of dripping water. This is the inside of a defrosting refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Hey, relax, Kim. It's just a fridge, right?
Of course. A giant iceberg-shaped fridge. Just what we were looking for. Let's see what's inside.
Here we go.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Oh, really? It doesn't look like it, but sure. I'll take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Excellent. I will examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
Uh-huh.
The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
And, what is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. At least it's not running them a loss anymore, now that you've unplugged the cable.
The fridge sits empty before you.
Oh.
An overindulgent wardrobe, now that the cooling systems aren't active.
This is clearly the fridge. It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it's more than big enough and cold enough. Honestly, it's perfect. All we have to do is plug the fridge back in.
Right, let's do that, shall we? So that's what the red button does. Red cable does. Alright. I'll,
Only the black cable is plugged into the breaker box.
unplug the
Something
black
close to-
cable.
Why did you do that?
Don't know
The
why.
lieutenant raises a
Plug
giant
the red
electric
cable.
mammal awakens. The dead body is going to be safe in the embrace of its cold innards.
Great. The owners of this building will just have to keep paying for the electricity sucked up by this monstrosity a little longer. Let's return to the fridge.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna pay for it anyway. Let's go upstairs first, see what's going on. Let's see if we can't catch whoever is speaking upstairs. Oh. Wait. Who's... Oh. Well, you're right. I am a cockatoo.
Excuse me?
I went and ran up on them, just like you said. And I even decided what kind of cockatoo I am. You wanna know?
I don't know. The most talkative one?
No, I am the funeral cockatoo.
The what now?
The funeral cockatoo. It's the most depressing one.
You truly are one strange cop, aren't you?
Just wanted to thank you for your help.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
I'll see you later. Alright, so... How to upstairs do... Is there even a way up there? Doesn't look like it. Let's, Oh boy, okay. Let's just, to be sure, let's just, go from this side. Lonely cormorant surveys the seas. Over here? Oh, did I find out what's up with the door, wall? Let's try.
Just an ordinary.
No, okay. Interesting. No, I don't think I can get there. So how am I supposed to find out who was talking upstairs? This is locked. There's gotta be a shortcut somewhere, right? Come on. This is not fair. Kuno. Footprints in the dust. Alright, these are all the challenges I have to do. But I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in finding out who's been talking. Alright, well, I've got no choice. I thought those stairs were gonna lead me upstairs, but unless
East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
okay. Ice City?
Silence. No one answers the doorbell.
Huh. Emma's Fashion Atelier.
You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence.
The gym?
All you hear is static, but no one answers. You ring the doorbell, but you ring the doorbell, but looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't saying anything. You can almost hear them breathe.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
Hold on. Tricentennial Electrics. I thought I was calling Slipstream SCA.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
Sorry?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
It's a woman, and she knows you. Your heart beats faster. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Hello? Do we know each other?
Michelle, just please.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached from your surroundings. Inside the building, a cold memory hangs.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Hold on. Tell me what's going on. What did I do?
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
To forget? Forget about what?
She sounds like she's about to cry. The cold is deep under your skin, as if you were talking to someone who's 100 years away. Somewhere inside the building, water is flooding the cellar floor.
Hello?
She doesn't answer.
Hey, you said it was nice. What's so nice about forgetting?
Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
What's happening?
Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
Alright. Well, goodbye, I guess.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read. Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. Silence. No one answers your call.
Okay. Well, that was fascinating, but didn't really help me. Still don't know who's upstairs. Is there a way to check that I don't know about? Here we go.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
you've awakened the entity.
Hello? This is the police. Oh, maybe I shouldn't start with that. Hello? Someone there? Can you speak to me?
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Oh. A safety curtain on the second floor. Alright.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly.
Alright, the fridge is plugged in now. Will you help me with the body, Kim?
Of course. I'll take the head, you take the feet. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but we'll manage.
The two of you, easily.
Alright. Let's do this.
The body is heavier than you expected, and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
Yep.
You've definitely earned a drink after this, perhaps even some pagan rites.
You really think so?
No, not really. Look at that.
Oh.
What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare fridge. This story does not leave this room.
Look, we did our best with the means at our disposal.
Did we though? Okay, maybe we did. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection, under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Let's try this again.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
What's this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
I will put my fingers in his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Alright. I'll play with it. This feels right.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate,
Yes?
you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye.
Oh.
It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the
Oh.
edges appear darkened.
What's that all about?
An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Hey, Kim, we got ourselves an abrasion collar here.
Abrasion collar.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
I'll feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark forever.
I will push deeper.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity, cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
I will push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
Oh.
All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Alright, I'll ease into it. I'll wriggle in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger.
What do I feel?
Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Ooh.
The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
I'll inspect the skull first.
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it, from the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
I feel a solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
I'll try. And
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
slowly pull my fingers out.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
Aha.
A bullet.
I'll drop it in. Right in the evidence bag.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I have it?
Of course. You've earned it.
Thanks.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Sounds about right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, is all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Yeah, that seems right.
I have had my doubts for a while now, since I saw there were no signs of struggle on his hands, and no claw marks on his neck. There have been other signs too, small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
Hell yeah.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Well, there is still, of course, the possibility that he was both shot and hanged.
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it doesn't explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me.
So, the obvious question here is, why would anyone do this?
To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
And who do we know would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Yeah, let's hope so. Maybe the bullet holds more answers.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
I think I'm also gonna need to wash myself.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Right. So, what happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
Oh, you'll be gone. What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Thanks.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
Alright, well... Alright, well, we don't have a reason to do it now. We'll wait until nightfall, and then we'll... and then when it's bedtime, I'll let him take the corpse somewhere far away. Alright. Until then, let's level up, what are we gonna level up? Half-light, sure, why not? Let's give that a nice level up. Oh, we can interact with the bullet. Let's do that before we forget.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
I will feel the bullet through the bag.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
Hmm.
You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
So, what do I do with you, Bullet?
What?
I said, what do I do with you, Bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me.
Ah, that's a good idea.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim.
That's right.
In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Alright, I will inspect the bullet even closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
I will look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
I see.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet, close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader, like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Uh-huh.
We were right. This came from a serious weapon. Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Yeah, we do indeed.
Something tells you that won't be any time soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
I don't know. Let's give this a try. I'll try to determine what type of weapon shot this now.
A rifle, revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Make?
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you, the dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Well, is anyone still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
So who uses Belmargrave rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
I know where this came from.
Okay. And?
The shot probably came from a Belmargrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Revachol, really.
Exactly, which is probably a good thing.
I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech-loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzleloaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Well, I guess it makes you consider every shot. I kind of like it.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, The second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Seems we're looking for an antiques enthusiast.
Doesn't seem that likely. But we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Right. Well, I think that's all the bullet has to say. For now, at least. Alright, second floor, there's a curtain. We need to go up and, access it? I don't know. She said that she's pulled the curtain and... Oh! Hold on a minute, what's this? Oh. I didn't see any of this. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Does someone live here? The floorboards creak. Postcard. And... Oh. Tray full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. Candy dispenser repurposed to contain thousands of dice. Dice, dice, baby dice. Excuse me.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
What do you mean by Milius? Milius?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
I'm afraid you must have confused me with someone else. I haven't knocked on any windows.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
I'm not interested in buying dice right now. I'm a police officer and I need to ask some questions.
Of course, I can see that. I just thought you were a police officer looking for dice. How else can I help you then?
This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.
So, where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
So what do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? Ask her about the curse already. The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then, the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, Detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What kind of daily ruckus are you referring to?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
And so you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
I see. Well, thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
They sure are. Hey, do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
Do you know what happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Huh. Maybe that's what Kuno needs. A community-centric boxing club.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
He's that little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
Yeah.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
And so, who is Artemitep?
A kind man, from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
And how did that little community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Oh dear.
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Well, I found the building's intercom, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
That's alright.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
So the doorbell with the empty name card belongs to you?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I also saw a name East Delta Pinball on the doorbell.
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice: don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
Also, a strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream SCA. Someone answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years.
Well,
Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
no, it wasn't Plaisance. I know her and would have recognized her voice.
Oh, right. But did this person say anything?
She said she was from Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you
Oh.
sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
Well, it didn't sound like a kid.
No, it was something else. It was eerie. Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
I don't know. It may have been some sort of rare electrical anomaly.
A prank is more likely, no? Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
I have a few more questions about the building.
Sure, I'm listening.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
Well, it depends on what kind of haircut.
It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
I mean, I'm more of a simple man, really. I don't have any opinions on hairstyles.
Me neither. I just want it off my face.
Right. Hey, what's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right?
Right.
Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieu. Who would have guessed?
Oh.
What's the snuff milieu? Trust me, you don't want to know.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Uh-huh. Cool. Cool. Very cool about the debris. But what's a snuff milieu?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Oh.
What does she mean, to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Huh. Hey, did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts laying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Oh.
But what drugs exactly?
Doesn't matter.
Anything else?
I found some creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights activists? I didn't know insects had any rights. Or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Well, it's probably for the best. I mean, I wouldn't be wearing any clothes made out of beetle wigs. Sounds like a terrible idea.
At least it had some spark to it. Most young designers just combine lace with leather and call it original.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
So what's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Huh. What do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just the props. Why return them? Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long.
So, I found this strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
Liberal? What do you mean? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
Oh. What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
Well, from what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on.
Sure.
In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
You know, you're right. They should have just tried harder. They had everything needed to succeed.
Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
There was this terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Alright, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one.
Oh.
And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
Oh.
And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Fritta does the same thing.
Yeah, I know a girl just like that. She works in Frit as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
Bear didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
Oh dear.
Eventually, Ravishore Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Look, I'm sure the bear was doing its best.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean.
Oh? How come?
He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Scary, but cool.
What's a vision beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life. By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Oh.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
Well, I don't do drugs.
Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all.
At least not the bad ones.
Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Yeah, indeed I do.
Little sparkling embers under the window. Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
No, actually, I had other questions.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Well, Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Wait, the whirling is part of the doomed commercial area?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the east of the Commerce Central project.
Well, I mean, the whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying bills.
And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Well, look, I'll be the first to admit that there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Honestly, I'm starting to see that there is no curse. Only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her. You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
She has begun to idly clean one of her carving tools with a dirty kerchief, the tool's sharp edge shining in the light of her desk lamp.
Alright then. Thank you for your time, miss. I'll see you later. That was a waste of time. Oh, hold on a minute. Is this something I can put in this thing, the machine? Let's see.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering.
There we go.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
I'll press it.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter?
I doubt it.
Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology.
I don't think so.
The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Indian Repeater Station 1.
Huh?
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What's going on? Are you a machine or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Alright, where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Indian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident.
Why are you calling me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
And what are these so-called interactive call-in radio games?
Any other questions?
What is the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
You mean that glowing thing I put inside?
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
I don't know.
If you are unsure, could you please take a look?
How do I do that?
Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it.
Right.
But the core is safe.
Okay.
There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called.
It's called the projection schedule.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. You should ask her for a hint.
Look, ma'am, this is the police. Can you please open this thing?
I I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
Can you give me a hint?
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Yeah, but I thought she'd make an exception. Is it my birthday?
Still no.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
No, that's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering.
Goodbye. I'll leave it in here, and when I find the password somewhere, here or there, I'll come back. I'll come back here. Oh, hold on. Oh, this is where we came from, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I forgot. Okay, yep, this is where I came from, so I go downstairs. Can I try this again?
The barbell waits patiently.
Alright. Back through the door. Here we go. And back into the bookshop. Gonna give a play. Oh! Looks like Guillaume Le Million, that hair poster. No sane person would ever put their head into such a machine. Okay, thank you for that. Alright. Let me unequip my flashlight.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus.
Yes. How was it?
It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises, leeching life energy from this bookstore.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
I'm afraid that's all I can say for now, book peddler. The mystery is yet to be solved.